on that note, I want to talk to you about something. I'm sure you've all heard the passage, the sins of the father. You know, the sins of the father are, I forget how it goes exactly. The sins of the father are passed down from generation to generation. What is it, like the third or fourth or seventh generation, whatever it happens to be. Now, some would argue the theology here is that father, mother, a parent commits a sin and the children pay for it. You see that actually in the Gospels, where Jesus encounters a man born blind and his disciples ask him, whose sin is he being punished for? And Jesus says, well, that's nobody's sin. He's not paying for anybody's sin. He's just born blind. And he says, I think that's where Jesus says he was born this way that I could heal him, something along those lines. Anyhow, again, sometimes we let sin. The father commits a sin, and the children are going to be punished by God for the father's sin. I long ago came to understand that what it means is that as parents, the sins we commit, we pass that on as a teaching to our children. We teach our children how we cope. We teach our children how we respond, how we react. And our children may indeed take our ways and live according to our ways, unless we offer, at the same time, we offer a different take, a different way forward. We are our children's first image of God. We are the first image of God our children will ever see. We are looked up, adults. We're all looked up to by the youth in our communities. People of authority are looked up to by youth. We're seen to be, okay, this is somebody that I should emulate. Look at all that they've achieved. Look at all that they have. This is someone that I should emulate. If I want to have what they have, if I want to be like them, I need to live like them. I need to act like them. I need to talk like them, walk like them. I need to behave like them. Our good habits, hopefully our kids pick up. But sadly, it's our bad habits too. And our kids can indeed pay a price for the things that we do. Not because God is reaching down and punishing them, but you can see it with mental and emotional health. You see it with all, you just see it with life in general. Our kids can sometimes pay for what we've brought about. I am the son of a man who would tell you, if he were here, he would say, I'm an alcoholic. My dad's quit drinking 43, 44 years ago, something like that. But he today would still say, I'm an alcoholic. It's not a judgment. I don't mean, I'm not labeling him. I'm simply saying it's one of the ways he sees himself. And I can tell you that I would not be here today if my father wasn't brave enough and courageous enough and strong enough to be willing to accept that he was an alcoholic, that he is an alcoholic. I wouldn't be here today if my dad wasn't willing to take a deep, hard look at who he was in those moments way back when and choose to make a change. I wouldn't be here today. The bravest thing my dad ever did, as far as I'm concerned, was being willing to tackle his demons. The bravest thing my dad ever did as far as I'm concerned. And he's done a lot of really amazing things. I love my dad. He's done a lot of really amazing things. But when he was willing to introspectively look at his life and look at his behaviors and look at his ways of dealing with life and coping, when he was willing to look at it and say, this is inadequate and insufficient, and this is not going to end well, when he was willing to do that, he saved me. He saved my sister. And ultimately, the generations to come. The bravest thing you and I can ever do, if we really choose, if we really believe, if we really love the next generation, if we really want to have an impact on the next generation, whether it's our children or our grandchildren or whoever, if we really want to have a positive impact on future generations, the smartest, bravest, hardest thing we can do is to be willing to look inward and change and grow. To look inward and say, this isn't working. This isn't enough. I'm kind of half-assing it here, if you get what I mean. Right? If we're willing to look inside and say, there's an opportunity here for me to grow, and there's an opportunity here for me to change. There's an opportunity here for me to live a different way. That is to me, that is the absolute greatest thing. That is the best thing, the most loving thing we can do for future generations. Be willing to accept that we are not perfect and that we can change. And that goes so far, well beyond addiction, right? Well beyond alcoholism or drug addiction, well beyond mental and emotional. Every facet of life, we could apply this understanding to every facet of our lives. You can apply it to the environment, right? Hey, right now, this is how we're living. I need to take a really good, hard look at how I'm living and how I'm impacting those future generations right now today. Am I doing what is best for them? Or am I simply asking them to pay my tab? We can do it when it comes to, it just applies to so many facets of our life. So, folks, I encourage you. I implore you. Let all of us be willing. Let all of us be willing to do that hard work, to do that bold, brave, courageous work of looking inside, looking at our lives and being willing to change how it is we're living, how it is we're coping, how it is we're reacting and responding and dealing with life. Amen.